It's funny, but every time I critique Canada or the systems running it, someone pops into my comment sections with the same old recycled greatest hits. If you love immigrants so much, go live in their country then. Or, why don't you have immigrants live with you if you love them so much? Or one of my absolute favorites is, why do you hate yourself as a white person? It's always the same script, just different accounts. And every time they miss the point entirely. Because critiquing a system is not the same as hating the people inside it. Critiquing government policy is not the same as hating a country. And holding power accountable is not the same as disloyalty either. But people react defensively because for many of them, their identity is tied to the system itself. So when you say the system is flawed, they don't hear that. They hear you're flawed. When you say Canada has inequalities, they don't hear this is something we can fix. They hear you're calling Canada bad. And suddenly, instead of examining the point, they're fighting imaginary accusations. But let's be clear, that's not what accountability is. Accountability is love in action. It's the belief that something can be better than it is. It's the opposite of hatred. It's investment and responsibility and commitment. And the solution isn't to move out, no. It's to dig in. Because if a country can't be examined, it can't be improved. If a story can't be questioned, it can't be corrected. If a system can't be criticized, it can't adapt. It just calcifies. And here's the thing the defensive commenters never realize. A country doesn't fall apart because somebody pointed out a problem. A country falls apart when too many people insist problems don't exist. Patriotism isn't my country is perfect. Patriotism is my country is worth the work. And real loyalty sometimes looks like discomfort. It looks like listening to truths that challenge you. It looks like letting go of fairy tales you were taught in school so you can actually see the world in front of you. But defensive people hear all of that as betrayal. Because the story they grew up believing is so fragile, it can't survive the weight of reality. And when someone's identity is built on a story instead of the truth, they cling to it. They defend it. They protect it at all costs. Even if that means attacking the very people doing the work of actually trying to make the country better. But here's the truth they don't want to sit with. Canada isn't fragile. The only fragile thing is the ego that can't handle being told that the story they grew up with wasn't the whole truth. If a single TikTok video can shake your sense of patriotism, maybe what you were holding on to wasn't patriotism at all. It was mythology. And myths can feel comforting, but they can't fix housing. They can't fix healthcare. They can't fix clean water advisories. They can't fix systematic inequalities. They certainly can't build a future that's more honest than the past. Critique is not destruction. Critique is a blueprint. It's the first step in building something stronger than what came before. So no, I don't hate Canada. If I did, I'd stay silent. Silence is what happens when you give up. Accountability is what you give the things you still believe in. And if that threatens someone's sense of identity, that's not my voice being the problem. That's their story being too small for the truth. Peace out. And if you're not already following me, you should. It's going to be a ride.